In the picturesque town of Willow Creek, nestled between rolling hills and a serene lake, lived a couple who seemed destined for each other. Jessica and James had met in high school, their love blossoming through shared dreams and whispered secrets under the moonlit sky. Their connection was undeniable, their bond unbreakable, or so they thought. Jessica was a spirited artist with a heart full of dreams. Her paintings were a reflection of her soul, vibrant and full of life. James, on the other hand, was a pragmatic architect, his designs meticulous and structured. Despite their differences, they complemented each other perfectly, like two pieces of a puzzle. As the years passed, life's challenges began to test their relationship. James' career demanded more of his time, pulling him into late nights and weekend projects. Jessica felt the growing distance, her once bright world dimming with loneliness. She poured her emotions into her art, but it wasn't enough to fill the void James' absence left in her heart. One evening, after another dinner eaten in silence, Jessica couldn't hold back her feelings any longer. "James, we need to talk," she said, her voice trembling. James looked up from his laptop, concern etching lines on his forehead. "What is it, Jessica?" Tears welled in her eyes as she struggled to find the right words. "I love you, James, but I feel like we're drifting apart. I miss us, the way we used to be." James sighed, running a hand through his hair. "I know, Jessica. I've been so focused on my career, trying to build a future for us. I didn't realize how much I was neglecting you." Jessica took a deep breath, her voice barely above a whisper. "Maybe we need some time apart to figure out what we really want." The words hung in the air, heavy with pain and uncertainty. James' heart shattered at the thought of losing Jessica, but deep down, he knew she was right. They needed space to rediscover themselves and their love. The days that followed were filled with heartache and longing. Jessica moved into a small studio apartment in the heart of the town, immersing herself in her art. James threw himself into his work, but the emptiness in his life was a constant reminder of what he had lost. Months passed, and both of them grew in ways they hadn't anticipated. Jessica's paintings began to reflect a new depth, her heartache transforming into breathtaking masterpieces. James, too, found clarity in the silence of his empty home, realizing how much Jessica had been his anchor, his muse. One rainy afternoon, James found himself standing outside Jessica's studio, his heart pounding in his chest. He had spent countless nights replaying their memories, his love for her growing stronger with each passing day. He knew he had to fight for her, to show her that he had changed. He knocked on the door, his breath hitching when Jessica opened it. She looked at him with wide eyes, surprise and uncertainty mingling in her gaze. "James, what are you doing here?" she asked softly. "I needed to see you, Jessica," he said, his voice filled with determination. "I've missed you more than words can express. Being apart made me realize how much I love you, how much I need you in my life." Tears welled up in Jessica's eyes as she listened to his heartfelt confession. "James, I've missed you too. This time apart has been hard, but it's also helped me understand how much you mean to me." They stood there, the rain softly falling around them, their hearts beating in unison. James reached out, taking Jessica's hand in his. "Can we start over, Jessica? Can we build a future together, stronger and more in love than ever before?" Jessica nodded, a smile breaking through her tears. "Yes, James, let's start over." In that moment, under the gray sky, they realized that sometimes letting go is the only way to truly know the depth of your love. And as they held each other close, they knew that their love, tested and renewed, would withstand any storm. The rekindling of their love was a delicate process, but it was also filled with joy and rediscovery. They took things slowly, relearning each other's habits and quirks, and finding new ways to connect. The spark that had once faded now burned brighter than ever. James began to prioritize their relationship, setting firm boundaries at work to ensure he had time for Jessica. He surprised her with picnics by the lake, dates at the local art gallery, and simple moments of togetherness. Jessica, inspired by their renewed bond, painted more passionately than ever, her art reflecting the vibrant love that had found its way back into their lives. One evening, They found themselves at their favorite spot by the lake, the setting sun casting a golden glow over the water. James held Jessica's hand, his eyes filled with the love he had for her. "Jessica, I've been thinking a lot about us, about our future. I don't ever want to lose you again." Jessica smiled, her heart swelling with affection. "We've come a long way, haven't we? I'm so grateful we found our way back to each other." James reached into his pocket and pulled out a small, velvet box. "Jessica, you are my heart, my inspiration, my everything. I want to spend the rest of my life with you." He opened the box to reveal a beautiful, sparkling ring. "Will you marry me?" Tears streamed down Jessica's face as she nodded, overwhelmed with happiness. "Yes, James, 1,000 times yes." Their engagement was celebrated by the whole town, who had watched their love story unfold over the years. Friends and family gathered to toast to their future, their hearts filled with joy for the couple who had fought so hard to find their way back to each other. The wedding was a small, intimate affair held at the lake where they had shared so many memories. Jessica walked down the aisle in a simple, elegant dress, her eyes locked on James. As they exchanged vows, they promised to always communicate, to support each other's dreams, and to never take their love for granted again. Their life together was a beautiful tapestry of shared dreams and mutual respect. James continued to grow in his career, but he always made time for Jessica, attending her art shows and encouraging her to chase her dreams. Jessica's paintings flourished, her heart and soul poured into each piece, her love for James a constant source of inspiration. Years later, as they sat by the lake with their children playing nearby, Jessica looked at James and smiled. "We've come so far, haven't we?" James squeezed her hand, his eyes reflecting the deep love he felt for her. "Yes, we have, and I wouldn't change a single moment. Letting you go was the hardest thing I ever did, but it made me realize just how much I love you." Jessica leaned in, kissing him softly. "We're stronger because of it. Our love is unbreakable." And as the sun set over Willow Creek, casting a warm, golden light over the couple who had found their way back to each other, it was clear that their love story was far from over. They had learned the true depth of their love by letting go, and in doing so, had found a love that would last a lifetime. Thanks for watching. Remember to like, share, and subscribe for more.